to season 8 finale of Thankful Testimony Thursday. Tell me something good. Well, by way of Sunday, because it is not Thursday, you guys. Welcome. Thank you for joining on tonight's live. I'm excited to be here. I am trying to function all of the different functionalities that I got going on, okay? So y'all gonna bear with me. Welcome as you are coming in. Testify. Tell me something good in the comments about what God is doing in your life or in the life of someone that is connected to you. I am very excited to be able to finally close out season 8. I wanted to jump on and talk with you guys, chat it up for a little bit, and just, end this season with a bang because this has truly been a phenomenal year for me. So, as you were coming in, I want you to testify, tell me something good. I also want you to hit that share button, invite somebody to the broadcast who you know needs words of encouragement. You guys, we use this moment to uplift, to encourage, and to motivate one another, to strengthen one another, to remind one another about the importance and the goodness of spreading the good news. Okay. And so many people use their platform or this platform or their social media platforms for all types of other reasons. Okay. I choose to have this intimate moment with you guys up close and personal where we talk about the goodness of Jesus and we testify. So I am so excited to be on tonight. As you guys are coming in, I want you to share your praise reports in the comments. Um, Tell me something good about what God has done for you throughout 2025. This has been a phenomenal year for me. And I'll definitely be testifying and sharing a little snippet of my praise report and what God has done for me throughout this year. You guys have been with me for 8 seasons on this particular broadcast, and you have seen me go through ups, downs, woes, me's, mines, mountaintops, valley lows, and we have persevered and made it to this very moment of tonight where I'm able to testify on what's on the other side of what I've been doing behind the scenes. This has been a year that I have been MIA, missing in action. But although I was missing in action, I was working so diligently and I was just doing a lot behind the scenes that I'm going to share just a snippet with y'all, but I was doing so much behind the scenes that it's I'm baffled. I can hardly articulate myself. I'm baffled at all the things that God has just done, the amount of work that I've gotten done behind the scenes, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, the things that I've had to do behind the scenes just to constantly build my character, build my integrity, build who I am as a woman. And so I thank God for that. Thank you for coming on, Minister Elect Demetrius. Hey there. Testify. Tell me something good in the comments. Make sure you share the broadcast with someone who you know needs words of encouragement on tonight. I'm excited to have you on. Tell me something good about what God has done in your life or in the life of someone that is connected to you. If you guys are jumping onto the broadcast tonight, I would like you to say something in the comments so that I can see you and acknowledge you. And thank you for joining on tonight. I typically don't get to see who's on the broadcast until you guys comment or say something, or until I watch the replay and then it'll tell me who's actually on. So you guys will see me trying to finesse and broadcast. I'm also sharing the broadcast as well. So as you guys are coming in, testify, tell me something good about what God has done for you this year. Tell me what you're thankful for. And tell me just testify. Talk about something that God has done for you, that will bring light and witness to someone else. Your testimony is so powerful. I tell people all the time, you don't have to wait until it's packaged just right for marketing purposes, okay? Some people like to wait until their testimony is in the right package with a bow on the top before they start testifying. I tell y'all the good, the bad, the ugly, and the in between. On a good day, a bad day, and all the above, because I know that somebody is always blessed by the smallest of the details. Sometimes it's the smallest of the details that really is the testifying. The smallest of the details that really is the blessing. The smallest of the details that can save a life or transform a life. So there is no testimony that is too big, too small, or anything of that magnitude that God cannot get the glory out of. A testimony means that you overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of your testimony. And so the fact that word that you overcame something, that is what makes you able to testify about the goodness of Jesus. Thank you to my Apostle Sheila, for coming on. Testify, tell me something good in the comments about what God has done in your life. I'm going to be closing out this broadcast this season. I'm sorry, correction. The devil is a liar. I'm going to be closing out this season with my testimony. It's going to be just a short snippet. I was able to sum up 2025 in 3 words, and I'm going to bless you guys with that. How about that? Y'all do that for me. Give me a word that defines your testimony of 2025. For instance, strength. If you've gotten strength this year, if you've been strong this year, if you've persevered through some challenges this year, your word would be strength, or strong. Overcomer. If you've overcame some of the odds that was up against you, I mean, stacked up against you, mountaintop high, couldn't see no way out. Overcomer. Victorious. Every time you touch something, it came out miraculous, like gold, like it multiplied, it increased, it doubled. Okay, so miraculous, victorious. Tell me something that identifies your 2025. I'm not really going to be on here long because I could sum up what God has done for me. When I do sum it up, it's going to be short, sweet, and nice and simple, but it's going to definitely bless you guys on tonight. Minister elect Demetrius says, thankful for God blessings over my life. He's really been showing out. He's giving me 2 blessings after I stated never again. Never give up and be mindful of what you say. Be mindful of what you say. He's been just that God to me. I think she meant good, but I could be wrong. Faith is stronger. Her faith is stronger because God has showed up on her behalf for 2025, gave her 2 blessings after she stated she never wanted it again. She never wanted to be blessed like that again, but God blessed her. And that is definitely something. Somebody put some hand claps and say, God, we thank you for the doors and the things that you've done for Minister elect Demetrius Javier. I pray that many, many blessings find you and overtake you for the rest of 2025 and beyond. She also said her word for this year, she can define 2025 is confidence. I love that. I love that. And that means so much because I know the backdrop behind a little bit behind your testimony. So yes, I definitely see you walking in your confident self, your matured self, your self-esteemed self. And so I speak that that will continue to flow. And not only that, just know that your confidence will be contagious. So everything that's around you, everyone that comes in contact with you will be blessed by you, by your confidence. Because what we walk in, how we walk, if we walk in confidence, we bless others with confidence. If we are motivators, we bless others to be motivators. So continue to go forth in the things of God and do what God has told you to do. I love that. Amazing, amazing. I'm clapping with you and rejoicing for you. As you guys are coming in, testify, tell me something good in the comments about what God has done in your life or in the life of someone that is connected to you. We use this moment to uplift, to encourage, and to motivate one another, to strengthen one another, to remind each other about the goodness of Jesus and all that He's done for each and every one of us. I'm so thankful on today for life, health, and strength. I'm thankful that I don't look like the past couple weeks that I've had. I've had some challenging past couple weeks within my health. And so I thank God for restoring my health, which is why I've kind of had to postpone ending the broadcast. We were supposed to end on Thanksgiving Day, but I thank God that I have made it to this Sunday where I'm able to end the broadcast with a bang. My apostle says today is my 700th day migraine free. Now, if you guys did not start the beginning of the season with my apostle, she was my first guest on season 8 back in February 27th. I remember that date. So y'all got to go back. I think we're going to do a marathon, and we'll probably play some of the replays of this season so that you guys can go back and get a snippet of those blessed testimonies that were shared throughout the season. So we celebrate with you. We rejoice with you that you are on day 700th of being migraine free. And as we have prayed before, that God will continue to bless you to be migraine free and allow your testimony to give him all the glory. Testifying to those who suffer with migraine that God is a healer and he will bring you out regardless of what the doctor says. God is a healer. My apostle, which is also my biological mother as well, you guys, she suffered with migraines as a result of drunk driving. And so her testimony, as she shared, has been a process of getting a process of operating in faith to get to where she is today. And so we thank God that she's proof and she's evidence that regardless of what the doctor's report is, your faith, with your works, she had to change how she eats. She had to change different things in her lifestyle and different things that would add to her migraines. She had to build up her faith to not take medication and do different things. And I can't tell her testimony because, she have to tell it. But I will say this, whenever you are in a position where you're building up your faith to trust and walk in your healing or walk in the blessings or walk in the things that God has for you, just know that you are always going to be having to do the work. Okay. That's where I'm going to be going tonight with my testimony. You will have to do the work to get the blessings. You will have to do the work to get the testimony. You will have to put your hands in it, your feet in it, your mind in it, your heart in it. You will have to put your sweat, blood, and tears in your testimony to really reap the benefit of it. Without a test, there is no testimony. And every test, every trial, every tribulation that I have gone through has brought about a different level of testifying. Every year, we're on year 8. Every year has been something different. I've gotten to see God in a different way. I've gotten to walk through, even if it looked at like a repeated cycle of something that I was trying to overcome, I got to see progress in a different way. I got to put my hands in it in a different way. I had to challenge my mindset not to give up because even sometimes, I don't know if you've ever been through a repeated cycle of something before and you lose your faith, you lose your hope, you lose your desire, you lose your tenacity, and you got to find the will and the desire and the passion. Okay, that's what year 8 was for me with this broadcast. I had to find my passion again, my reason and my why, because it started to sound like I was saying a broken record. It was playing a broken record. I was just talking about the goodness of Jesus and testifying and keep on going through trial after trial, tribulation after tribulation, and I just had to keep changing my mindset to say that somebody's being blessed. Even if I don't see one like, if I don't see one comment, somebody's being healed, somebody's being delivered, somebody's being set free. My recording, my pressing is not in vain. My getting up and my doing is not in vain. And then I also had to learn for the first time, and I'm talking with you guys, I promise I ain't gonna be on here much longer. Give me about maybe 15 more minutes, and I promise I'll get y'all back to y'all beautiful Sunday. In the process of trusting and pushing and persevering, what I learned this year is I learned how to put Michaela first. And I've learned how to say no. I learned how to keep my relationship, my intimate relationship with God, and trust the process, even when I could not see the footprints in the sand. Okay. One of my favorite poems is the footprints in the sand when God is carrying you and you can see one set of footprints because he's carrying you and it feels like the weight of the world is on your shoulders. But throughout this season 8, okay, there was times when I would look down and I couldn't see no footprint in the sand. It literally felt like, oh God, I'm in this by myself. I'm tired of going through this. I'm tired of talking through this. I'm tired of persevering. I'm tired of keeping on. I'm tired of that. And God was like, do you understand the magnitude of why you do what you do? Do you understand why I got you on this assignment? Do you understand that there is a Rachel that needs you, that there is a Brittany that needs you, that there is a Samuel that needs you? There is this person that needs to hear your testimony, regardless of you feel like you're singing a broken record or a broken tune. It's blessing somebody, it's healing somebody, it's encouraging somebody, it's motivating somebody. I'm always encouraged when I see other people that run on with the vision and they take it on as their own assignment and they go forth and they spread the good news and they talking about the goodness of Jesus. And it's not a copycat mentality. It's not a competitive mentality. We are spreading the good news of Jesus and testifying and talking about his goodness. I may have been the fire starter. I may have been the forerunner, but I love when other people are attached to the assignment and they get it and they run with it. Write the vision, make it plain, though it may tarry. Wait for it. Okay. And so I feel like this was the season that I was waiting and I had exhausted my patience in waiting, and God had to revive me, revive my patience, revive my trust, revive my passion and my reason and my why behind doing this broadcast. So I'm thankful on tonight. Rachel, hey, thank you for coming on, my cousin Tangela. Testify. Tell me something good in the comments. Thank you for coming on, Rachel, my dear sister. I love her so much. She says, I'm grateful God stepped in and filled in the gaps. When people stepped out, he finished the job. Now, Rachel, you be trying to start stuff. I be trying to act right, and then here you go trying to start stuff. Grateful for God stepping in. Can somebody pause for just a moment? Let's clap and let's testify and say, God, I thank you for stepping in all of 2025. You stepped in, and not only did you step in, you filled in the gaps. When people, whoa, when people stepped out, God stepped in. Anybody else got that testimony? Rachel, you ain't in that by yourself. Baby, I stand with you on that. When people stepped out, God stepped in. When people couldn't provide, God provided. When people couldn't show up, God showed up. When people couldn't pray, God sent somebody else, a stranger. When people couldn't show, God sent strangers. When people wouldn't support the broadcast, God expanded it. And now we are in the level of a certain level of content creator, not even asking for that, but just out of obedience of doing what God said. God said I was going to blow on it and bless it. And my prayer was, God, I believe that my proportion is mine, because ain't no way I've been doing this broadcast before there was ever even a live button. Not this particular broadcast, but my other broadcast, Michaela's Transparent Moment. Ain't no way I've been doing lives before there was ever even a content creator, and I don't reap the blessing and the benefits of what God got for me. The devil is a liar. I shall see what God has by just my obedience of doing this broadcast. So I bless God for stepping in when people couldn't step in, and for showing up when people couldn't show up. And let me put a pause right there real quick. It's not that people couldn't show up. God made it where they couldn't. I love that part. Cause sometimes we put an expectation on people that ain't realistic. Okay. Sometimes people are going through life and going through their problems and their issues, and they just can't show up for you. That's what season 8 was about, y'all. I couldn't show up for nobody else. I said, ooh, I've been doing it, but I gotta show up for me now. I gotta take a mental break. I gotta take a pause. Ooh, I gotta invest in my love life. I gotta invest in my children. I gotta invest in my finances. I gotta invest in my career. I gotta invest in my vision. I gotta invest in my dream. Ooh, pause for just a moment. It's okay to pause, but don't lay there and stay there and get stuck. Get back up. Write the vision, make it plain, Michaela. Improvise, revise. reset, refocus. I had to press that reset button so many times this year, but I'm so thankful I made it to this day, November 30th of 2025, where I can say, God, I'm still holding on to your unchanging hand. I still see the promises of God. I still feel everything that you got for me is right in arm's reach. And I'm thankful that I didn't give up. I didn't lay down. I didn't die. I didn't wallow right there. I didn't get stuck. I didn't get depression didn't get back attached to me. I declared in 2023 that depression would not get back attached to me, that I would live a life of peace, a life of joy, a life of happiness. Now, has it tried to creep in waves and moments have tried to come, but I was able to cast it down and send it back where it came from. I was able to reset and refocus and regain my attention back on the things of God, keep my mind on Him. I'm thankful for that today. Hey there, Tangela says, I thank the Lord for giving me the strength to take care of my dad. He kept me for such a time as this. Listen, to all caregivers, if you don't know, I work in the field of caregiving and taking care of the elderly and so forth, and those who are need companion services and so forth. Those I have a compassion, I have a heart, and so much gratitude, and I'm appreciative of those who care for their loved ones. Let me tell you something, that is not an easy task. That is a task where you deserve a hand clap, a round of applause, standing ovation, and all the above. I am so thankful that God has put me in the field where I can be a companion to those in that capacity of caregiving. So not only do I, what I love about your testimony, cousin Tangela, is she say God has kept her for such a time as this. For this very moment, God created her to be in a position to take care of her father. What better position would God not put you in to give back to those who gave life to you, to give back to those who took care of you? It is an honor. Obey, honor your parents, okay? So that is such a blessing to be able to testify that God has spared your life and giving you the opportunity to be able to take care of your father. We speak many blessings over you in your obedience to do what God has told you to do on that assignment. She says, God keeps his promises. You know what? Stay out my testimony. That's where I'm at tonight. That's my testimony. I'm going to stay right there. I'm going to leave it alone in just a second. If nobody else has a praise report, I want to talk with y'all for 8 more minutes and then I'm going to get on out your way. I just want to bless y'all on tonight. As I said before, this year has been a trying year, but a blessed year for me. It has been a year of encouragement, a year of motivation, a year of God pouring into me, a year of me having the most intimate relationship that went beyond my regular worship time with God. It went beyond just my regular prayer time, my regular reading of the word time. It went beyond just me getting to know God and the power of his might and trusting him to direct and orchestrate my paths and my footsteps, knowing that there's no good thing that he will withhold from me, knowing that he will anoint my head so my cup will run over, knowing that he prepared an expected end for Mikaela. I had to motivate myself this year. I had to encourage myself this year. But most importantly, and I need y'all to say this with me, I had to do the work. 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 What was the work? The work was therapy. The work was prayer. The work was fasting. The work was falling down, getting some cuts and some bruises, but going back to the potter to patch me up and stitch me up again. The work was getting and pressing that reset button over and over. The work was walking in embarrassment because here I am trying to do it again. The work was restarting, resetting, refocusing. The work was, oh my goodness, didn't I face this battle before? Here I am again. The work was owning it and doing the work that was required to get to this day. The work was owning my love, owning my peace, owning my happiness, owning my joy, owning the direction of where I wanted to take the course of my life, the next steps of my life, owning that I didn't want to lay down and die and just accept where I am at in life, owning that I wanted more, that I desired more, that I wanted more out of life. That 39 years of being on the face of this earth, I have not seen all that God has for me. owning it for 2025 meant that I was not just going to accept the crumbs that was given it to me, but I was going to do the work that was required. Well, you say, what was the work required? The work that was required meant that I had to really, really sit down and have a heart to heart conversation with God. And I had to say, God, this is how I got here. Maybe it was by default, maybe by happenstance, maybe by my own doing, but I'm here and I'm here now and I'm here and I'm open and I'm willingly laying it all on the table. I'm willingly laying my cards out. I'm willingly showing you all assets and all facets of who I am. Not that God don't know those things, but sometimes you got to look in the mirror and you got to identify what the issues are. And so I had to identify some things and say, well, this is where you fell short at, Mikaela. This is where you allowed to compromise. This is where you did this, and this is where you let this person walk over you, and this is where you lost your confidence, and this is where you lost your voice, and this is where you made empty promises to yourself, your children, your family, your friends, and your loved ones. This is where you bit more than what you can chew. I had to sit down and have that heart to heart conversation, and I had to really realize that I was going to have to do some work, okay? And in the process of doing some work, I had to do some prerequisites before I got to 2025. And so in 2023, I declared that depression was not going to be attached to me. And so I tried to do everything I could to find peace, love, joy, and happiness in all people, places, and things. And God was like, that ain't what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get you to dig a little bit deeper. You got to go back into therapy. And I'm like, well, I really don't need therapy right now. I really don't want to talk about all the stuff that I've been through. I really don't want to go through this mountain again. I really don't want to sit down on nobody's couch. I don't really want to do that. God was like, you need to do therapy. I was like, well, I guess I'll do therapy because you keep telling me I need to do therapy. Maybe I need to do therapy. Well, what kind of therapy do I need? Do I need this type of therapy? And so God led me to a therapist that dug deep with me. And we dug deep, y'all. We dug deeper than deep, okay? And so we started dealing with the things that I needed to work on behind the scenes. And so I already had that faith. But when you put your work with your faith, then you start to see God do miraculous things. When you put your work with your faith, then you start to seeing some things manifest that you never even thought would manifest immediately. I'm not talking about months, years down the road. I'm talking about before I can even think some things, God would allow things to manifest right then and there. God will always, he will always show up. He would always provide. He would always make a way. He would always teach me how to live in peace. And so, what God started dealing with me on, some of the prerequisites was allowing peace to tuck me in bed. And what that looked like for me was making sure that I didn't go to bed unfulfilled without analyzing things that I was grateful for throughout the day, things that had occurred, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the in between. That before I closed my eyes at night, I was able to have a heart to heart conversation and say, God, I'm thankful for this, that, the third, and the fourth. I'm thankful that, even this happened today. I may not like what happened, but God, I thank you that you kept me in my right mind. I thank you that you kept my heart posture right. I thank you that you kept my mentality, my sanity. And so peace started tucking me in bed. And then joy started waking me up in the morning. And so when joy started waking me up in the morning, I was just happy just to be happy. Okay. The bank account wasn't making me happy. The job wasn't making me happy. People, places, and things wasn't making me happy. Joy was just finding me in the morning and making sure that it greeted me throughout the day, throughout the start of my day, throughout my day. And then they was handing each other off. So it's like when joy clocked in, peace clocked out. When peace clocked in, joy clocked out. And it was like they was taking their time and doing what needed to be done in me, but I was doing the work, y'all. I was doing the work. So peace was tucking me in bed and joy was waking me up in the morning, prerequisites. And then I had my injured knee and I had to learn to walk again. I had to, go through a lot of things in life, learning how to be appreciative of the smallest details, learning to be appreciative that I can feed myself, learning to be appreciative that I can walk and have the activity of my limbs. Because let me tell you something, that was a trying time learning to walk again after knee surgery. Okay. And I don't know if you ever had a major surgery that you had to trust yourself to do the regular basics, how to use the restroom all over again, how to feed yourself, your motor skills, and all those things. And so I grew a humbleness of being appreciative of the things that we take for granted. And so I learned to be appreciative. That was one of the prerequisites, being appreciative of the smallest of the greatest details. And so I started looking for God in the small details. And in the small details was the fine printing, the fine, thin writing was in the small details. And when I started to figure out how to understand the small details, the major big things became very minute and little to me. It became so natural and so common. It was like if I didn't do the small thing first, I couldn't get to the big thing. And so I learned order, I learned structure, I learned all of these things that God had to teach me how to do before I got to 2025. And so when 2025 came, I had to clean shop of a lot of things, people, places, and things. And God had to allow me to press that reset button. But I didn't press that reset button out of tradition. You know how we do those, what is it, New Year's resolutions? I didn't press that reset button out of tradition at the beginning of this year. I pressed that reset button saying I was going to walk in my heels again. I was going to be in the best of health. I was not going to be on medication. I was going to be at peace with my job. Let me tell you something. Can I testify real quick? And I know this may be a little bit too much what I'm about to say, and somebody may get offended. But let me tell you something. God will strip you of absolutely everything that you think you need and give you the bare minimum, and you will have more than what you need. That is my testimony. God will strip you of everything you think you need, give you the bare minimum, and the bare minimum will be more than enough. Okay, I'm trying to be good. So he will strip you of the of more than enough to give you the bare minimum, and the bare minimum will be enough. So that's what 2025 for me. It was like if I could just walk in my heels again, that's the bare minimum. If I can just put on my clothes again, that's the bare minimum. If I can just eat by myself, that's the bare minimum. If I can go and sit and dine and find dining, that's the bare minimum. If I can learn to love myself, that's the bare minimum. If I can learn to take myself out on a date, that's the bare minimum. If I can learn not to be a part of the crowd and the people in different settings, that's the bare minimum. If I can learn to just love being by me, those are some prerequisites. I love to be with me. I love to be. I have a strict, what is it, moral value, way of living, way of thinking, something that I live by, a standard that I've set is wherever I live, there has to be peace in my home. Wherever I turn the key, Grambasete, wherever I turn the key at, there has to be peace. If there is not peace, then that means my season, my time is up in that area. And so what I found out as I was allowing peace to tuck me in bed and joy to wake me up in the morning, I started finding out that I liked being isolated and by myself. In this season, I learned that I didn't need a crowd of people. I didn't need people to pat me on the back. I had grew some strength from on high. I had grew motivation the same way that I was able to motivate you guys. I had found strength within. I didn't know my own strength until I had to know my own strength. I didn't know I could stand on my own till I had to stand on my own. I didn't know that I can do it by myself until I had to do it by myself. I didn't know that I had to hit rock bottom and say, "Oh, you know what? I need help in this season because this is where I am. I don't want nobody to judge me, but this is where I am. If I don't get help in this area, I'm gonna fall mentally. If I don't get help in this area, I'm gonna fall physically." So I learned how to vocalize how to get help so that my peace can stay intact. I'm thankful for that because the old me would have stayed stuck, hurt, broken, hiding everything, hidden behind the scene and smiling on the outside. And then I'm messed up in the inside. I freed myself on December 31st of 2024 before I got to 2025 because I declared and I decreed that this was going to be a year of great blessings for me. This is going to be a year that I be happy and I be at peace and I be at joy. Now, don't think that the devil did not try to come in multiple ways and many facets, but this has been a blessed year for me. Let me sum my year up in 3 words for y'all: love, peace, and happiness. Love, peace, and happiness. Y'all want to know why I've been missing? Because I've been in love, I've been at peace, and I've been embracing happiness. I've been in love, at peace, and embracing happiness. Love is an intense feeling, deep affection, a great interest and pleasure in something, feeling deep affection for someone, like or enjoy very much. Okay, listen, I had to clean out areas in my heart and allow forgiveness to come in so love can enter. I couldn't hold on to my past hurt, pain, misery, any of the above, so that love could enter in my life. Not just in a romantic relationship, but I'm also talking about in a form of friendship, in the form of loving my job, in the form of loving my vision, in the form of loving my passion, in the form of loving my business, in the form of loving my children, in the form of loving ministry, in the form of loving what may have died, had to be revived, reset, and refocused. I told y'all throughout this year, I had to press that reset button so many times because I had to regain my passion and recenter my focus on the things of God. So this year, again, I'll sum it up. It's been love, peace, and happiness. Love, peace, and happiness. Peace. I love this. Peace is freedom from disturbance, tranquility. Peace is also a state or period in which there is no more war or war has ended. I declared on December 31st, 2024, that war, the mentality of depression was not going to attach itself to me. Loneliness, divorce, life, there was going to be life after divorce. I had to declare that. Do y'all not know how many people get stuck in divorce? Do you not know how many people wear a scarlet letter because they carry the title of a divorcee? I had to not get stuck there. I had to say that love was going to find me again, that my heart was going to be healed, but I had to do the work. I had to go to therapy. I had to put my hands to what I knew God was going to do. I had to work. I had to believe. I had to pray. I had to fast. I had to trust. I had to filter through some jokes, some tricksters, and some counterfeits, okay? And so I thank God that in the process of allowing peace to enter in my life and throughout my home, that it allowed me to get in a place of tranquility, a place of a zen zone, a place of relaxation, a place of in the midst of the storm, I will praise you. A place of it may not look good or feel good, but God, I trust you throughout the process. A place of, oh God, I don't know how you going to do it, but I trust you and I believe you. A place of, oh, this don't feel good, God, but God, I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to wait on you patiently. A place of saying, God, though you slay me, yet will I trust you. A place of not treating them how they did me, a place of loving kindness, a place of saying, you know what, I'm going to do them better. I'm going to show them God's love. I'm going to treat them better. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm not going to scandalize their name. I'm not going to gossip. I'm not going to do foolishness. I'm not going to do wrong for wrong, tit for tat. But God, a place of true peace, peace that took over every aspect of my life, peace where even when they talked about me, stabbed me, called me this, that, child, everything but a child of God, all I had was love and peace and joy. Peace where I sleep good. It's so good that it's unexplainable. Peace where I knew everything. Ooh, y'all gotta understand me on this one. Peace where I knew everything was gonna be all right. And what wasn't all right, God was gonna make it all right. That's peace. Peace, no matter what the outcome or the circumstance may be, that I trust him and I never doubt. Peace that I can't explain, but I know it's there. It's a present help he's a present help in the time of trouble, because peace was right there guiding me in the storm. No matter how ugly and how much turbulence it was, no matter how much of a war zone I was in, peace was there. And I don't know about you, but when you fight a battle and you fight it with peace, you can go through it with ease. And that's what 2025 has been for me. I've been going through this year with ease, stress-free, worry-free. Don't mean it hasn't been struggles or troubles or issues or circumstances. It mean I've been trusting God throughout every aspect of my life, depending on him, believing in him, hoping in him, demanding that regardless of what it looked like, what people say, I believe what God has for me is greater. I believe that peace that is attached to me will teach me how to seal my tongue and be quiet and wait on God. Y'all know what it taught me? Be slow. Oh, slow to speak, quick to listen. Baby, y'all don't know how long it took me to learn it, but baby, I got it now. Oh, well, you ain't saying nothing. You got an attitude? Something wrong? Did I hurt you? No, I'm slow to speak, quick to listen, slow to speak in the natural, quick to listen in the spirit. oh, they did this and they did that and they said this. You ain't got nothing to say. I ain't got to clap back. I ain't got to clap back. I ain't got it in me. Not 2025. I've had a peace that surpasses all understanding. And so this year has been love, peace, and happiness. So happiness is a positive emotional state characterized by what? Joy, contentment, contentment, and a sense of well-being, encompassing both immediate pleasure. Can I let that sit right there for a second? Y'all, okay, so y'all, I told y'all when I get happy and I get joyful and I get off giddy and all of that, my dimples come out, my eyes get slant, and all the above. So y'all see my whole demeanor change when I got to this one, okay? So happiness, woo woo, woo woo. Woo! Characterized by my joy. I've already been putting in the work behind the scenes, the prerequisites of joy, of allowing joy to wake me up, peace to tuck me in bed, and that contentment. It gonna be well no matter what, baby. Did I not snatch and grab a hold to a contentment like my life depended on it? Baby, I'm gonna be content no matter what way it come. I'm gonna be content regardless of what's in the bank. I'm gonna be content regardless of who's with me. I'm gonna be content regardless of what circumstance I'm in because peace has been tucking me in bed and joy has been waking me up in the morning and a sense of well-being. Listen, when you are at peace and when you have joy and when you have contentment, you got a sense of well-being. It's gonna be all right. That been my note. I don't know, God, but you got this one. This one on you. That I be like that. This one on you. You got this one. That ain't my bill. I know it came in my name, but this one on you, Daddy. I need you to fix it. I need you to handle it. This one on. I'm not finna let this steal my peace. I'm not finna let this steal my joy. This one on you. I'm content whichever way you want to do it, God. However, anyway, how they say, any way you want to bless me, what? I'll be satisfied. Any way you want to take care of this stress for me, God. I'm satisfied. And that's where I've been at. Happiness is a deep sense of purpose and meaning. Woo! When you find your purpose and you find your meaning in life, see, okay, I had to realize that my purpose and my meaning was not attached to people, places, and things, and that life was not going to be over because I got divorced 2 times. Life was not going to be over because I got sexually assaulted. Life was not going to be over because I had some traumatic childhood experiences. Like, life was going to start and it was going to have purpose and it was going to have meaning and it was going to be attached to joy, peace, love, and happiness. And so once I found that purpose in life, guess what, y'all? Y'all know when I told y'all I was isolated and I pulled away and I had that one-on-one and I had that heart-to-heart and I had to get very close and personal and I had to go on a hiatus and I had to reset, refocus, regain, and find my passion and my love again. What I found is that my purpose wasn't wrapped up in my title as mommy. My person wasn't wrapped up in my title as wife. My purpose wasn't wrapped up in my title in church. My purpose wasn't wrapped up in my title in people, places, and things. My purpose was wrapped up in the things that God has for me. Okay. And so I found my purpose. I found my meaning in life. And finding your purpose and finding your meaning in life also gives you a form of peace, love, joy, happiness, and contentment and well being. It all comes full circle. And so happiness, it is influenced by a combination of genetics, circumstances, and personal mindset. I had to change my mindset repeatedly. It was easier this year because I was open and welcome to allowing God to have full control. sometimes we'll give God control, but we still got access where we're controlling and manipulating things. This was a year that I had to give God complete control, and I said, God, whatever you want to do. Now I'm gonna be real transparent with y'all. Don't y'all judge me, but I'm gonna be up close and personal with y'all real quick, okay? And so one of the things that my therapist had me do was last year she had me join a dating site, okay? And the first dating site that she recommended, I didn't get down with it. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. I was like, I ain't got time for these games. This ain't it. God, if you gonna send somebody, you need to send them. If it's the UPS man, let me know. Okay. That's where I was. So I jumped on the dating site. I was like, oh, this ain't for me. This is not it. So I deactivated that. And so another person had came and they said, well, you should try this. And so I tried that. Immediately I got overwhelmed. And I'm testifying, I promise you I am. So immediately I got overwhelmed, and in the process of getting overwhelmed, I was like, okay, yeah, this ain't for me either. So I got off of there, but I connected with some people. So I had a little coffee date, y'all. The coffee date went good, but it was like, this ain't it. He stood me up, y'all. After that, I was like, cool, this is a real coffee date. It was legit. We had good conversation, all the above. And so I prayed and I said, God, this ain't for me. Because one thing I do know is my prophetic gift works very well. And so I'm gonna be discerning all kind of stuff about all kind of people that I don't need to know. I'm gonna be seeing all their business that I don't need to know. So God, this ain't for me. So I went to God and I prayed a prayer and I tried, y'all. I tried. I even had the mindset that I'm gonna date them all. Everybody gonna take me out to dinner. Everybody gonna do something. Y'all, I went on that one date and that was it. Okay. That wasn't for me. So I went back and I prayed and I said, God, I have a desire to want to date. I want to date, but I don't want to date the traditional way. I don't want to do it how everybody's doing it in 2025. I want to date where I date one person. I want to get to know that person. The motto is date them all. You find out which one the best, may the best person win. That ain't me. That ain't never been me. I'm a one person kind of person, okay? And when you overcame and you had to go through infidelity, you really get locked in on being a one person, okay? I don't like to share, okay? I don't like to share my food. I don't like to share a man, okay? So that's just me, to each their own. And so I prayed a prayer and I was like, God, I want to date one person. I want to get to know one person. I need the right person to come in my life. And God, if who's here now ain't for me, remove, replace, all the above. And so friendships started being removed. People started coming, getting offended over the smallest little thing. And I'm like, whoa, is that what we losing our friendship over? So God just started honoring my prayer that I prayed. And I was like, whoa, I prayed it, but God, I ain't know if I meant it that fast. I didn't want you to start removing people that quick. He was like, hey, don't talk to me like that. Don't ask me to do something. And then when I started doing it, be like, all right, God, chill out. No, he was like, I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. So God started doing what he do. He started doing his thing. And I forgot all about that prayer, y'all. I forgot. Okay. And so I was still trying to connect with people that was reaching out on a dating app. And it was like, eh, I feel you, but I don't feel you. It ain't for me. And so I was getting ready to deactivate an app and a dating app. And on the day that I was getting ready to deactivate a dating app, my gentleman that I'm with now reached out to me. And I was like, who is this? I don't know who you are. I'm getting ready to deactivate this account. If you want to connect with me, here go my number. Most of y'all know I don't ever give out my number because my phone is always on do not disturb. Okay, so it was like, this dude ain't gonna call me anyways, and if he do call me, he gonna get my voicemail. Blah blah blah. So to make a long story short, on the day of me deactivating my page, that's the day that I met the gentleman that I'm with now. And so I ain't got time to testify about all of that, but let's just make a long story very, very short. Some of my happiness is attached to that individual. And so I thank God that my mindset was in a place to be able to know what I wanted, to pray what I wanted, and to wait and to trust God. Now, God ain't have me wait long because he know me. He feel me? And so God didn't have me waiting long, but this was a path that I had to trust him. It was different. It was not something I was used to. And so happiness is also factors that contribute to happiness include strong relationships, gratitude, living with purpose, and maintaining a good mental and physical health. So I had to change my mindset. I had to do the work, do the therapy, get in the gym physically, do the work, do the therapy, and trust God. I'm sorry. I hope I'm not overlooking y'all comments. I apologize if I am. I am testifying. Thank y'all so much for being patient to let me talk to you guys. And so 2025 for me, you guys, I'm thankful for love, peace, and happiness. God has showed up in my life in ways that I cannot even put it all in one video, one broadcast, one episode. But what I can tell you guys is that I stayed the course. I did the work. I trusted God. I trusted the process. I'm happy now more than I can even express or articulate. God has showed up. God has sent somebody that has the sentiments of my well-being, of maintaining my peace, of helping me maintain my joy, of taking the responsibility. And I hope I don't get in trouble when I say this, but my honeydew, I don't know if y'all remember, I used to post some videos when I was learning to walk again of me doing my walk Sundays after church. And so for about, I want to say maybe 2 or 3 months now, he has been asking and begging me to get back to doing those videos. And so today he was like, "You're not doing the walk, you're gonna do the walk." And so I'm thankful that when God sends somebody, and I want y'all to hear me, because y'all have been through all walks of life with me, the divorce, the engagements, the happiness, the love, the marriage, all the above. When God sends somebody, he's going to send somebody that's in the right place at the right time, in the right season that matches where he has you. Love, peace, and happiness. And so when I met my gentleman, he was going through his transition, and we were in the same vein. We were both needing the same thing. We were both pressing that reset button. We were both trying to find our voice again. We were both building our happiness again. We were both doing the work required. And so it made it easy. And I went ghost on y'all for a minute. Because you know what? I was determined. Let me say it like this. I was determined to do it different this time. Insanity is to keep doing the same thing, expecting different results. And so I told God, I said, "God, if I'm going to date, I'm going to date." And that man took me on dates, more dates, okay, than 2 marriages, okay? And that's no lie, hands down. He was intentional. I told him what I needed. I told him where I was mentally. I told him where I was spiritually. I told him what journey I was on. He got in the trenches with me, and he manifested things uh hand in hand. That if I wanted to go to the gym, he made sure my membership was taken care of. If I wanted to eat certain way, he made sure I had the money or the food to do this. He got in the trenches with me. If I was going through fighting depression, he would say, "Oh no, not today. What can I do to make sure happiness come and find you?" If I'm going through XYZ, and so God sent somebody that will go co hand in hand in labor with me of my love, peace, and happiness, of my peace, of my joy, of my tranquility. God will send somebody that will add to your life, not take away from your life. I've learned that now at 39 years old, that you don't have to settle, that God will send somebody with the sentiments of the desires and the things that you have need of that will go hand in hand. Now, let me say this, okay? While I'm testifying and talking about the goodness of Jesus. We were in the grocery store together on Wednesday getting stuff for Thanksgiving. Wednesday, Tuesday, one of the days. And we were out shopping. And when I tell y'all, so many people came up and was like, "Congratulations." And, "We so happy for you. Is this your husband? Is this your this, that, the th-" And I was like, "Can the man ask me to marry him first, y'all?" They was like, "Oh, we thought y'all were engaged." I'm like, "No, we was just dating. We're getting there." And so I'm thankful, and I say that so comically because he does match my energy and I match his. And when that day comes, if I am blessed where he does ask for my hand in marriage, we will be on that same page, and I'm thankful for that. But I thank God where I'm resting at. I thank God that love has found me in a different vein. Peace has wrapped itself around me and just engulfed and embraced every aspect of my life. Happiness. I can't express enough how happiness plays such a major impact on your well-being. I've never been this happy, but I've never been this hands-on and fully invested in doing the work for my happiness. And so I'm thankful. Y'all, I am so thankful, and I'm not going to cry, for each and every one of you. Every one of you that have played a role, a part in making sure that I got to this moment of love, peace, and happiness, of making sure I did the work, to each and every person who held me accountable in those dark seasons. Thank you, Minister Elect Demetrius, for playing your part and your role as my sister, as my friend. Um, in just the things that you did behind the scenes to make sure uh, that I became who I am today. Thank you to my apostles, my leaders who covered me with an enormous amount of prayer, of love and compassion and grace and mercy. Not "I told you so's," not, woo, 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 pointing the finger and waving it at me. Thank you for engulfing love and embracing me with God's grace and mercy and loving kindness, and kept me close, close in ministry, and close near the altar, and close in prayer, and close in fasting. Thank you. Thank you to my family, my immediate family. Oh my goodness. I could not have become the woman I am today without my immediate family, from my grandmother to my siblings to my cousins, those of you who have been a part of the broadcast from day one. Thank you, Mary. I know she's not on. Thank you, Sharon. I know she's not on. So many people, I don't want to call out names 'cause I will forget somebody. But those of you who held me accountable, thank you to my sissy Jasmine. She is my bestest of friend. I always say, I don't know how I'm gonna have a wedding, because my maid of honor and matron of honor would be my mom and my sister. They are hands down my immediate close people. And then I have my sissy Keisha, and I'm so thankful the people that have been assigned to me. Rachel, you are assigned to me, and I thank God for you. I thank God for the oil that is on your life. You are a dear sister friend. I thank God for my sister Tiffany. So many of you guys just stayed in the trenches with me. So many of you guys blessed me, and I was going to share a snippet of my inbox and my text messages and stuff tonight, but time didn't permit me to get everything set up in time. But I want to say this to those of you who have reached out and genuinely expressed how happy you are for me. I am so thankful. And I don't say that lightly. I have a sister friend in North Carolina, and she never flies anywhere. She don't fly for nobody. She will drive, but she will not fly. And so I posted a picture of me and my honeydew for my sister's wedding, and she was in my inbox, blowing up my inbox, and I finally checked my inbox message. And when I got there, I was crying because she literally said, "I don't care when or where you get married. If you get married at the courthouse, I want to be there. If you get married in Timbuktu, I want to be there. I'm getting on a plane." And she said, "Mikaela, you know I don't get on a plane for nobody. I'm coming to your wedding." And I thought about that thing. I said, well, I don't really want to have a wedding. I said, I want a honeymoon. I don't really want a big wedding. I said, I want a wedding. But she said, let me tell you something. She said, you have to have a wedding. And this is somebody who's been through my first marriage, first divorce, second marriage, second divorce, and it on this tail end of the things. And she began to testify And she began to remind me of the importance of how my transparency of laying my life out on this platform has blessed her, has encouraged her, has motivated her. She began to remind me that me doing a wedding is not just for Mikaela, but it's for so many people that have held on to my testimony, that have held on to the fact that God is going to do it again for me, that I will love again like I've never been hurt. That was the title of my last year conference. And so I thank God for so many people, y'all. If I ever get the opportunity to share all of the feedback, all of the inbox messages, text messages, encouragement that you guys send me, I am who I am on this platform because you guys keep showing up for me, because you guys keep praying for me, because you guys keep telling me the importance of being Mikaela and staying true to who I am. Thank you to Lily for always reminding me the importance of continuing the Out on My Joy movement. I love you, and ain't a doggone thing you can do about it. To each and every one of you that have played a role or a part in making sure that I got through season 8, thank you. We are at new beginnings, and I believe that God has greater in stores, that this is only the beginning, that eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, nor has it entered into the heart of man, the things that God is getting ready to do with this testimony broadcast. Continue to spread the good news. Continue to talk about the things of Jesus. Continue to motivate, uplift, and encourage one another. Continue to remind yourself the importance of your testimony. Continue to get to the other side, because I can now testify on today, November 30th of 2025. On the other side, there is love, peace, and happiness. Make it to the other side so that you can reap all the benefits and the things that God has for you. I love each and every one of you. There's not a doggone thing you could do about it. We will go ahead and close out season 8, and I will see y'all in February if God agrees. Bye. Thank y'all. God bless you.